Hey fellas, Baghead here, and welcome back to another video. A new format of video for my channel. So basically, the other day, I went out and watched James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Now, I know movie reviews really aren't my channel as usual, but that's because I am normally late to watching the movie or talking about it in general. However, The Suicide Squad released early in the UK, so I would be an idiot not to jump onto this opportunity. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the few negatives that I have about the film. First of all, some of the humor and the jokes really didn't land with me or my cinema audience, but a lot of them did land with me, and even some that didn't got laughs out of others, so there's something. Majority of these did come from King Shark or like John Cena's Peacemaker. Boobies. My other gripe with the film was the gore was occasionally too much in my opinion. This is a very, very graphic movie. Here in the UK it's like a 15. I'm surprised it wasn't an 18 because it really dances the line of that. It doesn't leave anything to the imagination really. It shows literally everything. But hey, that's just my opinion, and I'm sure other people can stomach more than I can, but I still think the gore was good in a lot of the areas. It's a graphic movie, but I mean these are graphic novels, guys. They're based off. The Suicide Squad has been very brutal before. And it's very brutal here. But one scene does come to mind where I just don't think it should have been. It's during a really important and emotional character death scene. And then they kind of they do a Mortal Kombat-esque close-up, like how Mortal Kombat has X-rays. They kind of do that and show the heart of the character. It's like getting stabbed. And I feel like, personally, all it does is add on the shock value and kind of the disgusting, like that's the area that's been hit. But apart from that, it doesn't really add anything to the scene. The audience that are watching it are all above 15, right? They wouldn't get let in if they weren't. And if you just show the character that's dying in this scene, they get hit with the sharp object, right? They get stabbed, they say whatever, their last line, and then they fall to the ground motionless. I think they're going to be able to click the fact that this character has passed, you know? I think it's going to really click with them. You don't need to show the internal organ, being the heart, getting stabbed. Because all it does is add on that factor of, ugh, that's disgusting. And I get it, like James Gunn could do whatever he wanted and he decided to do that. No one's going to stop him. And like I said, a lot of the gore does work, but that's just one bit, because there is a really important scene. It is a really important character death. And having that, really, if you took that out, you would get probably more emotion, in my opinion, than actually when it was in there. So, that was my biggest issue with the gore, that one scene. The last thing in the negatives I can really think of is that it would have been really nice to see some more of a few of the characters. I can't go into details on who I would have liked to have seen more of, because as you probably know, or if you don't, a lot of these characters die, because the film just jumps straight to the mission. First 10 minutes, you're already in the mission. First 10 minutes, you're already seeing the deaths that I'm talking about right now. But, I'm not going to say who, you're going to just have to see it. But a lot of them, it's like, oh, gone too soon, gone too soon. Some potential lost. But I get it has to set the tone, it has to show no one is safe, which is why it still does work, in my opinion. Because it's sad, it's annoying, kind of. You're like, oh, I really like them, and they're already off. But it is to set the bar, and to let you know that there's not a single character on this roster that you can guarantee will make it through this film. But that is kind of it for the negatives. I mean, like I said, there aren't too many, so I'm just going to talk about what the movie does really well. Okay, so the opening of the movie, like I mentioned, instantly sets the tone. It throws you straight into the world, the reason the rating is so high, and the main plot of the film. The main cast of characters in the Suicide Squad are amazing, because we do follow. There's a huge cast, obviously, and you can already tell that tons of them are getting wiped out, and they do. And so we obviously follow a main group of them, right? A group of them. So a few of my personal standouts are Ratcatcher 2. She was just the heart of the movie for me. Like, she is adorable, she's sweet, she has really nice relationships with the other characters like Polka Dot Man and Bloodsport, and basically any character that she's around. So huge props to the actress, Daniela Melchior, I don't know. I can't say the name, but Daniela, whoever played Ratcatcher 2, she did a really, really good job. I'm not familiar with her work, but this was already enough to get me into her. Pause. It was also really nice to see her relationship with her late father, Ratcatcher 1, who's played by a fun cameo. Won't say who, but it's nice. You do get those scenes in flashbacks, and it does add on to her character, and you do see why she does what she does, and why it's even rats that they control. Bloodsport was another highlight, very different to Deadshot, so don't worry about any similarities between the two. The only similarity is really that they are both experts with guns, of course, right? But Bloodsport is just vastly different in personality, and the way he talks, his relationship with his daughter, it's just completely different. Which they had to do it, obviously. Another reason why Bloodsport is such a good character is because he is the only member of the Suicide Squad in Fortnite. Thank you, and nope, Harley doesn't count, it's a different version of Harley. And Peacemaker as well was another character who's a joy to watch. He's just fucking insane. His morals make zero sense, except to him. They make sense to him and him alone, which is kind of the whole point of him. He just believes nonsense, right? His entire ideology is just nonsensical, but that's why he's on the team. That's why he's locked up. And they do state literally that his story is the exact same as Bloodsport's. So they are questioning, like, why is he on the team in the first place? And you see why he's on the team later on. And I mean, constantly, they have a very fun relationship, Bloodsport and Peacemaker, because they always try to one-up each other in the action scenes on who can get the most stylish kills, who can do things the best. And they constantly, it's just like a fucking dick measuring contest between the two of them. And that's just fun to watch on screen. Rick Flag was another really nice surprise as a character. You really care about him in this film a lot more than you do in the first Suicide Squad. Because there he kind of had nothing, and I mean, just his costume alone was bland. And he does have that classic army gear at the start of the film, but he gets his new one as he progresses. He gets the one with the yellow shirt, which I really like. And Rick Flag was a very nice surprise, and you really start to see his full character, especially towards the end of the film, when the story is coming full circle and more things are being revealed about the plot. That you really do start connecting with him and understand his mindset and what he really wants out of this. Harley is again, of course, amazing, to no one's surprise. I mean, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is always going to be a highlight of any film she's in. And it's a new side to her. We do see a new relationship, and we do see her fight on her own. She has a side story, which you kind of forget about towards the end just because of the crazy shit that's going on with, like, Starro attacking the city and things like that. So that does slip your mind. But apart from that, like, her side story, when I look back on it, I do look back on it fondly. It's a fun one to watch, and there are some really memorable sequences in it that help you remember it and help it stick with you, which is what it needed. Amanda Waller. There is never going to be a more perfect actress to play the role of Waller than Viola Davis. It's almost unfair that she is the first live-action Amanda Waller, because the bar has now been propped at the highest level and it's just unable to budge. She is so ruthless, cold, and heartless in this film, to the point where even her employees are just questioning her morals. Like, she will go to any length to get what she wants, and has no soul, and no regrets of anything. She is, I mean, they gave you a taste of it in the first Suicide Squad, but this one, she really has no limit. She just doesn't care about anyone, or anything. And my goodness, is she ruthless. Like, there would be a special place in hell reserved for her, that's all I'm saying on the matter. So on to the other aspects of the film, like the directing, the score, the costumes, all of these were great. James Gunn's directing is incredible. Some really amazing shots in this film and some really beautiful colours. Like, this is one of the best looking movies I've seen. And the score as well. I do not mind the rain sometimes, 'cause that's the only way the roses bloom in my mind. Yeah, it's a very good score. The costumes were all fantastic. A few of my favourites were Peacemaker, Bloodsport, Polka Dot Man, Javelin, The Thinker, my man Peter Capaldi. Loved seeing him in this and talking like he was playing the Doctor again. That was very nice. You can tell they wrote this in mind of his Doctor Who performance, because he really describes everything like it's Doctor Who. The way he talks about Starro as like a creature he's seen in the show. And I mean, and Harley's first outfit as well is really good, but it unfortunately is only worn in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the film before she gets her red dress instead. which is also a really great look, but I did love the first outfit, so it was a shame it was only in the very beginning, because it was probably one of, if not her best live action design and outfit to date. That's basically all I can say on the movie without going into spoilers, actually. So if you do want to do a spoiler review, then please, by all means, drop a comment letting me know. Be sure to like the video to show that you would want a spoiler review, because I'll happily go on into the spoilers, because just know, it's called the Suicide Squad for a reason. Don't fall in love with any of the characters, for your own good. A lot of people die in this movie. Overall, it's not my favourite DC movie. That is still the Snyder Cut. But don't worry, I'm not some Snyder cultist. I love all of DC. I love all of every director's takes on the characters. This movie is definitely in my top 5 DC movies. It's definitely way better than the first one, because that one was shambles from Warner Bros. Interference and everything. Tons of mixed visions for that one. Just wasn't a good final product. But this one is just so colourful, so fun, so graphic, and a lot of the time a good way. Some really just great characters in this and great character relationships. I do agree with some people's points of some emotion not landing, and like I said, the emotional scene was ruined a little bit, and there's another emotional scene with another death towards the end, which is also kind of ruined because it's played off as more of a joke of like a sudden boom. Oh, they're really gone like that. Okay. But yeah, like I said, this movie is definitely in my top 5 of DC films. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10 just due to the issues I've discussed. It does drop that point and a half. Originally I had it at a 9, and then seeing some other stuff and going over some things in my head, it's like, it could have been done better in that bit. But I don't also mind it too much. So 8.5, 9, I'll probably flick between those two, so you can just, there you go. 8.5 or 9 out of 10. It's worth a watch if this sounds like your cup of tea from what I've described. But anyway, if you enjoyed this and would like to see some more reviews from me, please let me know. And apart from that, I'll see you all in the next video. See you later.